No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
And that's always been my whole thing. And have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
And Terrence Howard worked on my first film, Get Rich or Die Trying with me. He's a good friend of mine.
Can't help it, man. This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. Yeah, real life.
Just when you thought the Diddy saga couldn't get any wilder, 50 Cent steps in with yet another bombshell. This time, it involves none other than actor Terrence Howard. According to insiders, 50 claims he may have literally saved Terrence from becoming the next victim of Diddy's so-called freaky games. But here's where it gets even messier. Terrence is finally breaking his silence. And he's not holding back. In a shocking turn, he's naming names, calling out the industry men who, according to him, never said no to Diddy's twisted party invites. Howard alleges that some of the biggest stars in Hollywood willingly gave up their dignity at those infamous FO parties, and that he narrowly escaped the same fate. Meanwhile, word is that 50 Cent has personally reached out to Terrence to appear in his upcoming Netflix docuseries, Did He Do It? If that's true, the two may be teaming up to pull back the curtain on what's really been going on behind closed doors. So now the big question: who are the men who said yes to Diddy? Rumors are flying, and some fan-favorite rappers and A-list celebrities are being thrown into the mix. But does 50 actually have receipts ready to expose the guest list and the secrets of Diddy's controversial parties? And what really happened the night Terrence Howard says he was lured into Diddy's circle? Stay tuned, because this expose is just getting started. In case you missed it, Terrence Howard just dropped by the PB podcast and delivered one of the most explosive interviews we've heard in a while. He opened up about the dark side of Hollywood, revealing how some well-known names allegedly gave up their integrity at those infamous industry parties. And then, Terrence took things even further, boldly claiming that this is exactly
Always right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
many of the celebrities who attended Diddy's infamous parties. According to him, some of these stars didn't just show up, they crossed lines, traded values, and got pulled into something much darker behind the scenes. And when host Patrick Bet-David brought up names like Justin Bieber, implying they may have been caught up in Diddy's twisted world, Terrence didn't hold back. He nodded in agreement, saying,
all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party.
You can tell some of these people are still dealing with the trauma of whatever went down. That one sentence hit like a bombshell. It wasn't just vague speculation. It was a clear call-out, hinting at deep emotional scars left behind by those so-called industry parties. But Terrence didn't stop there. He dropped a shocking claim, saying Diddy actually tried to hook up with him. According to Terrence,
that was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Off innocent, Diddy reached out, pretending to need help with acting. Then came the compliments, the sudden interest in Terrence's music career. At first, it seemed like a professional connection, until Terrence's assistant pulled him aside and warned him. Something about Diddy's vibe just didn't feel right. That's when the red flags went up, and Terrence realized this wasn't just business. However, Terrence made it clear Diddy wasn't the only one. He revealed that over the years, several big...
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. the things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place. What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
Also approached him with shady offers. These weren't casual invites or business pitches. They came with unspoken expectations. Terrence hinted that some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood use their influence to push disturbing agendas behind closed doors. He said the pressure was real, and walking away often meant risking your career. But Terrence stood his ground, choosing integrity over fame. And according to Terrence, staying true to himself came...
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm playing the music and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you.
Heavy price. He claims he lost out on major roles and top-tier opportunities in Hollywood simply because he refused to play the game. In his words, not bending to the system, in every sense, made him a target. While others compromised to stay in the spotlight, Terrence chose to walk away with his dignity intact.
To be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So as you can probably guess, social media went wild after Terrence's interview started making the rounds, mainly because most other celebs are staying silent and acting like they never even knew Diddy besides a few like 50's son and Cat Williams. Terrence is really the only big star who's come out and openly said Diddy tried to smash him. Speaking of 50, he recently talked about his upcoming documentary on Diddy, and when they asked him why he's the only one speaking out, 50 said it's simple. Unlike a lot of these celebs who are quiet now, he never went to any of those freak-off. Always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
And now, 50 Cent has weighed in on Terrence's claims about Diddy allegedly trying to pull him into one of his infamous parties. 50 reposted a clip from Terrence's interview to his Instagram, simply writing, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." But make no mistake, while he's keeping it calm online, he's also turning this firestorm into fuel for his explosive Netflix documentary, which aims to expose every dark corner of the allegations surrounding Diddy. But here's where things get even pettier. Sources say 50 Cent has already reached out to Terrence Howard.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
His upcoming Did He Do It docuseries, hoping Terrence will open up further about how Diddy allegedly tried to pull him into one of his infamous FO sessions. And honestly, it makes sense. 50 and Terrence go way back. with 50 previously showing public support when Terrence revealed he was scammed out of millions and blacklisted by major studios. Lately, Terrence has been speaking out more boldly, not just about being underpaid, but about a deeper agenda in Hollywood. He claims the system is designed to undermine black masculinity, saying he was labeled difficult simply for Terrence also revealed he's now considering legal action against Paramount to recover what he says he's owed from the past 20 years. And if that wasn't shocking enough, he dropped another bombshell. He was only paid $6,000 for his role in Crash, a film that went on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. For a critically acclaimed performance in an Oscar-winning film, that paycheck is almost unbelievable. Terrence's story is becoming a case study in how the industry has historically undervalued black talent, not just in front of the camera, but also when it comes to long-term compensation. Now, with his voice getting louder and 50 giving him a platform, it looks like Terrence is finally ready to fight back. Required him to wear a dress or play a gay character. The man has been demonized, Terrence said, arguing that strength in black men is seen as a threat, while white men are allowed to be portrayed as powerful. When asked about Taraji P. Henson's comments on pay inequality, Terrence said he wasn't surprised, then dropped another bombshell. He was paid just $12,000 for his leading role in Hustle and Flow, a film that grossed over $75 million. Even worse, he claims he never received royalties for the songs he performed in the movie. After seeing Terrence's powerful interview, 50 Cent quickly stepped in, offering support to both Terrence and Taraji P. Henson. He invited them to join him at G-Unit Films and Television, promising to finally pay them what they truly deserve. 50 shared a clip of Terrence discussing how he was underpaid for Hustle.
Transformative.
Oh, check this out. I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. And then on top of it, what Paramount did, instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing the songs,
Right.
they put performed by DJ. Well, they own DJ. So guess what? The performance royalties went to Paramount. They went,
Wait a minute. They didn't go to Terrence Howard. They went to
$12,000. That's all I ever made from Hustle.
Captioning it, "This hurts my stomach to hear." Terrence's words were clear. F them. I need the best actors, and I'm going to pay them. Taraji, you cool with Mary J. Blige? Ask her. She got a big effing bag. Not stopping there,
Sue Paramount or send them a letter.
Are you serious?
I gotta send them a letter to say, hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties. But I didn't know, I was just trying to pay my rent then. I made $6,000 doing Crash. Crash didn't.
I remember the movie Crash. Yes, that's right. That's right.
The business don't pay actors anything. That's why the strike is going on. Actors are struggling.
Terrence again, writing, "Damn Terrence, call my phone. I will get you the money they were supposed to pay you. I'm not playing no games over here." With Terrence now openly speaking out against Diddy, it's the perfect moment for these two to team up and expose everything together. Fans are loving that 50 Cent, Terrence Howard, Cat Williams, and a few others had the guts to say no to Diddy. But the real question is, who said yes? Terrence made it clear that many men in the industry lost their man card by letting Diddy take advantage of them. You can probably guess a few names. Sources say 50 Cent is fully committed to his upcoming documentary, making sure all these men get called out. And one name that keeps popping up? Jay-Z. Though now Jay acts like he's never been close to Diddy before all this drama, Diddy called Jay his extended family and even said Jay was his strategist, the first person he calls when he's in trouble. And then there's that clip where Diddy bragged about Jay-Z skipping Blue Ivy's recital just to perform at Bad Boy's 20th anniversary. That moment showed just how deep their connection used to be, which makes Jay's recent silence even more suspicious. So now Jay is saying he and Diddy were never really friends, but He missed a huge moment in his daughter's life just to be on stage with him. And let's not forget, during Diddy's 2023 carpool karaoke with James.
This is extended family. You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This my brother. This B.I.G.'s brother. Yes, sir. It's Brooklyn's own Brooklyn.
And then there's also that clip where Diddy mentioned how Jay skipped Blue Ivy's recital just to perform at Bad Boy's 20th anniversary show.
Your homie was doing a lot of things, man. Most importantly, you know, he had a recital that he has to be at the Blue. But I reached out to him, and I told him that this right here was important. Bad Boy celebrating 20 years of hits. And this is extended family. You've been there with me through my ups and downs.